I affirm that I
that
am
I
not
am not
or no longer human.
human.
I
I
understand
understand
that if I request or provide identifying information, my
my
access
access
to
to
Paranormal Anonymous will be
will be
revoked.
revoked.
I am
I am
ready
ready
to connect. Hello?
Hi. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. Pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yep. What brought you here?
I've, I don't know, I've never done it before.
Yeah?
I just got this ad. Have you done it before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a couple times.
Was it enjoyable?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, one of them didn't last very long. We just didn't work out, I guess. And the other two were decent conversations, but it's kind of awkward. That was not tonight. That was the previous night. This is my first chat tonight.
Oh, you do multiple in one evening?
Yeah, if I have enough free time, yeah.
Interesting.
Is that okay? I just kind of figured. I mean, not like I don't do like multiple like a lot, but like I'll do like two.
I have no
Is that
judgment about the number that you do.
okay? So what are you?
I'm, uh, how about you go first?
Oh, uh, okay.
Seeing as you're more
Um,
experienced with
okay,
this.
yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm a werewolf. What's that face for?
I was responding to your answer.
Yeah, but like, do you like what does your reaction mean? You know?
I haven't met a werewolf in a few years.
Mm,
You seem young.
yeah, kind of. I mean, I guess compared to some.
Though I suppose
So
that's a silly thing to say. Not like there's an age requirement.
yeah, yeah, true. You no offense, but you don't seem young,
I'm
which like it's not a bad thing. It's cool, you know. But
I'm not young. I'm a vampire.
mm, cool, cool. How long?
A while. How long have you been dealing with this?
Been 3 years and I think about 2 months. 2 full months now. Or tomorrow will be 2 full months.
That's a long time.
Yeah. So, quite a while. The first year kind of like flew by, being honest. But I don't know, now it's a bit slower, bit more I don't know.
What do you mean slower?
Like time just moves slower, or at least it feels like it does. Compared to my first year of it, it was just such a whirlwind trying to, figure everything out. And now that I have, I don't have everything figured out, but I have what I need to have figured out to survive, to manage. And so that just kind of feels like that's really all I do.
Manage?
Yeah. Manage and just wait, you know. So what about you? What do you do?
Do you mean like for a job?
No, I just mean like what do you I don't know. Just I'm hoping that you say something interesting.
I feel like I'm probably going to disappoint you.
Oh, I doubt it.
I read a lot.
Yeah? What do you read?
Anything. I like to read what's popular at the time. It's fun to see how it changes. I like collecting things.
That's cool. What are some of the things that you collect?
It depends. I don't stick with the collections for very long, but once it was music boxes. That was a long time ago. I got very into the baseball card scene.
Yeah.
But it was a little too much. I was a little too into it, so I had to take a break. I sold my collection.
Wow.
That was a weird time. Records, of course. But that one was easy. Those aren't so hard to come by.
What do you collect now?
It's a little on the nose, but I collect tarot cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I guess I do other things, I don't know. Now it seems like I'm trying to remember what I do. It feels like I've never done anything.
Yeah, it's always hard, like, you're put on the spot like that. It's like everything goes blank.
What do you do besides
What do I do?
manage and survive?
Like what do I do for fun?
Sure.
Well, I mean, I work, make ends meet, comfortable, I guess. And then in the evenings, I don't know, it's a couple of bars that I go and I hang out at. And, I just drink, and sometimes I get high, and then sometimes I just don't do anything. I just stay home. I don't really have any hobbies or an exciting life. I just to be honest, I mean, I know I should be I just think about, what I am all the time. And I know I'm so far in it, but I just I feel like a ticking time bomb, even though I know exactly when I will explode. Yeah, I try not to think about it all the time, but most of the time I do. So it's hard, especially when it gets closer to the full moon.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling I mean, not too great. Not like, feeling kind of mellow, but pretty anxious at the same time.
What do you do? Where do you go?
My grandfather owns this huge, huge patch of land. It's mostly woods. Been in the family for, for a very long time. I guess since before he was a kid. I always go up there.
Does he know?
Yeah. Figured it was best to tell him. That way, he makes sure that, he's not out there for any reason, or, none of the rest of the family or friends or anybody.
Does the rest of your family know?
No. Just him. I don't really talk to most of the rest of my family, though.
Because of this? Or something else?
Because of, I guess, a couple of things. Personal differences, we didn't see eye to eye on things. And then other family members, like my siblings. I've got two. They're both quite a bit older. We've never really been too close, so just kind of. I mean, I can't really say drifted apart because there's never been together, but keep in touch a bit, I guess. But yeah, my mom and I we don't speak. That's okay though. I'm fine with that. What about you? Do you have any family left?
No.
No.
Well, I guess sort of, but they don't know we're related.
Oh.
I keep track.
Yeah. Are they like grandkids or like a sibling's kids or like what is the
My sisters had children
mm,
and have continued the family line, I guess.
yeah. Have you ever spoken to any of them?
Every once in a while, there'll be one that seems worth knowing.
Yeah. Wow. What makes them worth knowing?
I guess it depends on which one, but the ones that don't follow the prescription for what they should be doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So how long have you, been dead, undead?
I feel pretty dead compared to undead. More dead than undead, I think. A very long time.
How did you become, you know?
I fell in with the wrong crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah. I left
How'd you do that?
my life. Which wasn't that good, so. They promised sisterhood. It seemed like a convent of sorts, but it wasn't exactly what they had billed it to be by the time I got there. It wasn't a wholly negative experience. It was just not what I was expecting.
It's good then.
I thought I was leaving my husband to join a convent with the person I loved, and then she killed me instead.
Yeah, that's definitely a turn. Wow. What happened after? Did you and her stay together, or?
For a while.
Yeah.
I didn't really know how to deal with all of this. I stayed with her until I figured it out, at least enough to be fine on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And she wasn't as... she was a recruiter.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little more in love with her than she was with me. Yeah. It was a rough separation.
Yeah, it sounds rough. So do you how do you feel about being a vampire?
I also think about it a lot, like you.
Yeah.
It's a strange existence.
Do you have any like vampire friends?
Sometimes. I think it's getting harder. The world's getting smaller. So we're all competing for resources in a way.
Yeah.
It can be very difficult and dangerous for more than a handful to be in one place. I try to leave before things get messy or turn into turf wars or anything like that.
Yeah.
How did you come to this?
I didn't, know the person that turned me. But not before they turned me, but I knew them after. They came and found me.
Oh.
Yeah. They didn't mean to. They remembered what had happened and wanted to show me the ropes, be there for me, help me,
That sounds nice.
apologize. Yeah. So yeah, we still keep in touch. We not around each other anymore, but still keep in touch. But yeah, I mean it was a really really sucky experience. I it just wasn't as like on here I've heard some really some really fucked up origin stories, and mine's pretty tame and like almost good in comparison. Like yeah, I was chased down and attacked by a massive monster, and you know had to go through learning the ropes of dealing with that. But I mean, look at, I mean, no offense, but like, look at you. You were played. That fucking blows.
It does.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a competition, though.
No,
We're all
I'm not.
allowed to suffer.
Yeah, I'm not saying it is. And, I mean, like, I am very, sad to be a werewolf, but, I don't really think much of my pain comes from where it started.
Where does it come from?
Hmm. I don't know. I guess it comes from once I started, going at it alone. Uh, it was easier when I wasn't alone, or at
Why?
least I feel like it was easier. Um, Maybe that's just because I was doing it longer, but
Why did your maker leave?
I wanted to travel more, and I didn't. It was simply just a natural parting of ways. Um, they had been traveling before, so it was safe to them, but I just I didn't feel like it'd be a good idea.
Were they traveling when they scratched you?
Yeah.
That's a big difference of opinion.
Yep.
Can you remember
And
what happens?
can I remember what happened?
What happens every month?
Oh, most of the time, yeah. There are some months where some months where I can remember it well, and some where it's kind of, cloudy and foggy. There's snippets, and some where there's a lot less. Um, but for the most part, I always remember enough to gauge how the night went, you know? Um,
What do you mean?
like nothing really often goes bad, but it's just in terms of, did I spend the night roaming the woods, or hunt a deer, or you know was there a really bad night? But they don't happen too often, I guess. What about you? What's being a vampire like for you?
Quiet. Like I said, it's getting harder as time goes on. It's getting more difficult to live in a digital world. And things just move so quickly and change so quickly. It can be hard to keep up.
Yeah.
And just, I think overall it's expensive.
Yeah. Why do you say that?
There's a lot of
Conservative.
things to deal with.
Mm. Moving all of your collections.
Well, yes, I mean, my rent for storage units is astronomical. But, I have my home pretty sun-proofed. That's not cheap.
Yeah.
If I want to buy things or exist in the world, I have to have identification.
True.
That's not cheap either, especially if it's
Yeah.
good.
I didn't think about that.
And being as I don't look super old, I have to change it pretty frequently. Security.
Got a lot to worry about.
Indeed.
How do you make money? Do you have a job?
No.
What?
good investor.
Mm, that's good.
It is good.
Oh,
I would be wary of older vampires that don't have money if I were you.
yeah. I feel like that makes sense. If you've been around for, at
Exactly.
least 100 years, you should have
You should have
a good chunk
figured
of
it out.
change.
Exactly. Even if you were a bad investor, just time alone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's on your side.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yeah, so luckily I don't have to work. But
You just don't like spending money.
well, I don't mind spending it. I feel like I spend so much more of it than I used to have to.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah,
Everything's more
crazy expensive.
expensive and more things you have to protect and
Mm-hmm.
have.
There's just so much that's needed.
Exactly. And travel is much more expensive.
Mm.
Like before, I could just pay someone a couple coins to, I don't know, put my coffin somewhere. Now it's a whole thing.
Wow.
What?
No, I just some of the things that you just don't think about being the struggles.
Yeah. And then, you have to pay for, well, I guess you don't have to pay for food, but another expense.
Yeah. How do you, so you pay people? That is that what you were like implying?
Yes. It's
Well,
easier.
that's nice of you.
I have a lot of it. Might as well.
Yeah.
And it keeps people quiet.
Mm. What did you do before you had all the money?
I tried a few things.
Mm-hmm.
There was a period, I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 years, where I worked in a whorehouse. That one was pretty easy.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, the farther back in time, the less you kind of had to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like it probably was a lot easier then.
And you could just, someone has a bizarre bruise or illness or something. People didn't really understand medicine anyway, so
Yeah. It's like, oh, well,
it's the moon
there's
or
things. Yeah.
it's God.
Wow. Yeah. Man, I bet it would, I mean, no offense, I think it would suck being a vampire at any time. But, like, I think especially now, like, being a new vampire starting out and, like, having to hide and cover your tracks and all of that. Like, if I had to choose a time to be a vampire for the first time, it'd be,
It's a
like, way
horrible
back.
time. I can't imagine.
Yeah. So bad.
And if you're doing it alone, just impossible.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah,
Have you ever made any body into a vampire?
I have.
Yeah. What was that like? Did they ask for it? What happened?
I've done it more than once.
Yeah.
Each time was different.
Mm-hmm.
It's a weird experience. I'm guessing you don't have kids.
No.
It's like being a parent in a way, but a little more dark.
Mm.
Some people want it until it happens. That happened to me in, I think, the early 80s, maybe.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to think I'm pro censorship or anything, but, you know, I think just a lot of media gives people the wrong ideas about things.
Yeah.
There was a lot of hype around vampires at the time. People thought it would be a sexy lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not.
Mm.
We only have a few minutes left.
Time flies. Thank you for chatting with me.
Did I tell you something interesting enough?
Oh yeah. Yeah. This was great.
I'm glad. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Thanks for listening.
Hope it gets better.
Thanks. I hope things get easier. Stop getting harder.
Yeah. I hope so too.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm. It was nice to talk to you.
It's nice talking to you.